pissing, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like pissing, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's popping? Big ups to you guys. Appreciate you being in alive. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you being in here. Please feel free to hit the like button. Please feel free to subscribe if you aren't a subscriber, man. We up in this thing. Sports Coma representing the mighty Who Dat Nation. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in this stream. Now, this is going to be our preview for the first preseason game of 2024. And listen, once they get to going, they're going to get to running. Let's just put it to you like that. When they get to running, it's going to get to going, because the first preseason game, then the second and the third, and then before long, you're going to be sitting ready for regular season football. That's how fast it's going to go. It only take one game or get that first preseason over, and you're going to see some stuff going. So big ups to the fam. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Happy end of the week to you guys, to my Monday through Friday people. And I know I got a few people that's Saturday folk, but big ups to you guys, man. Much love to the fam. So appreciate you being in the stream, man. Let me give a few shots out. Pelicans, Nola, big ups to you, brother Brandon. Be kind. Is big ups to you black majors in this thing, vibing with the Johnsons. Big ups to y'all. Appreciate y'all. Bronze, big ups to your Young City Ninth Ward is in this thing. St. Doug, how you doing, sir? Kai, what's up, Kai? Shout out to Kai the Great, man. Big ups to the brother. True Louisianimal. Big ups to you, fam. Good to see you too, man. Been a while, man. All right, what's up, Tuck? How you doing? Appreciate you, fam. Hoffa's in this thing. Big Bull Hoffa in here looking like Herb Jones, man. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Big ups to you as well. All right, so hit the like button, man. Hit the subscribe button. If you are just popping in, feel free to give me a who dat, and I'll give you a who dat back. So big ups to y'all. Appreciate y'all. There's a poll question in there as well to kind of talk about who you guys believe are, who wins the backup QB job for the Saints. So, and I got it in the poll right there. Is actually it's a good question, because a lot of people think that, and like I said, I believe Jake Hayner's slightly ahead, but we haven't played the preseason yet, and it's going to be cool kind of watching that thing go. But right now, even though it's like 14 people voted so far, 86% of the vote is saying Rattler. Spencer is the guy. Only 14 are with Hayner. So that's very interesting, man. It's a large contingent of Spencer Rattler supporters, and that's fine, man. We just hope that he lives up to what you guys are saying. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. We up in this thing as we'll get it going. So anyway, we're going to kind of preview this thing to the best of our ability, man. But listen, but pretty much with Dennis Allen, and this is a story that's given up by Saints Wire. Big ups to those guys. And pretty much what they bring down is Dennis Allen kind of keeping it close to his possum face about who is going to play in this game. They asked the question about Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr going to play in the game? The interesting part about it is he ain't really saying too much. You know what I'm saying, fam? But at some point, because most of the times you know that these guys are is Derek Carr going to play now? Remember last year, didn't Derek Carr play in the first preseason game, fam? Y'all remember that? They gave him like one series. I want to say they gave him a series or something to that degree. Does Dennis Allen then go back to that school of thought to give to give Derek Carr a series before he rolls out with Jake Haener and then Spencer Rattler going forward? But like I said, but what's really cool about this preseason is the fact that when because you're not going to see a lot of the starters. You'll see some, get out there. Like you will see a lot, like the inexperienced offensive linemen. They're going to give them every opportunity to soak up a lot of reps, as many reps as they can allow them to do. So you'll see Tali Fuaga, you'll see Trevor Penning, you'll see Lucas Patrick. You're going to see them take the opportunity to try to give them live game reps as much as they can to kind of get those guys up to speed, because they're really counting on these rookies and inexperienced offensive linemen to carry the day for the Saints. Now, listen, if the Saints have $6 or $7 or $8 million potentially just laying in wait in as a luxury where they can, just go over a luxury, because, hey, listen, that's what Justin Simmons is. It's a luxury to the Saints. The Saints don't really need Justin Simmons, to be honest with you. They don't need him. They got a really good, solid group of defensive backs right now. Our secondary is a top 5, top 10 unit right now. Now he'll put it over the top. Don't get me wrong, but if you can kind of look at drumming up some money, perhaps to try to get a luxury player like a Justin Simmons, maybe perhaps down the line once some of these veterans get released. Offensive alignment speaking, do the Saints look at that and say, oh man, we see an offensive lineman we like that can help us from an interior standpoint? Do the Saints then do that? Because like I said, that left guard position, I know a lot of people looking at those tackle positions, but I'm looking at that guard position with all those guys, whether it's Lucas Patrick, Shane Lemieux, who can't stay healthy, Ali Udoh, who kind of fell in the rotation. At first he was up here, then all these other guys came in and they just kind of moved ahead of the pile. So that other guard position is something to behold, man. So we're going to have to just kind of look at it. All right. What's up, Wendell? Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you for being in the stream. All right. Just a second, fam. I'm just texting my sons. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Wendell. Shout out to Dana. What's up, Dana? Shout out to you, Queen. I see you there chilling. All right, big ups to y'all in the building, man. So yes, it'll be interesting. All right, 504 Cole, what's popping, fam? Says Q, tell Mickey to put down that damn clam chowder and open the wallet and go get Juju and Justin Simmons. Yeah, we heard about Juju, and there were many reports immediately linking Juju. How you say that? Juju Schmidt? I forgot how to say his name, but he was pretty good. A couple years ago when he was with the Steelers, he kind of fell off a little bit, I want to say, because Juju Smith-Schuster, is that how you say his name? Juju was a beast a couple of years ago, man. And I think he got hurt and he had quite been the same. But Juju Smith-Schuster would be a good pickup for the Saints, to be honest with you, because they don't have anything like, I like Cedric Wilson Jr., but the it factor, like a guy that's a playmaker, not to take nothing away from. We got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed's dealing with a groin issue right now. Then A.T. Perry is the guy that they're tasked to be the guy that steps up. And perhaps the Saints will say, nah, we're not going to go after Juju Smith-Schuster because we want A.T. Perry to develop. Let's see what we got going on. We got our veteran in Cedric Wilson. Marquez Callaway is back. Let's see what we can do there. That kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting just to do it. Just a second, fam. All right. So anyway, fam, big ups to you guys. Yeah, he disappeared. I know, that's what I was saying. All right. So that's what I'm saying, man. Sorry about that. I was talking to my son. All right, so yes, Hemisphere, shout out to you. He disappeared in New England. Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster kind of fell off the cliff, man. I don't know what happened to Juju, man. The Juju must have went bad. That's what the hell it was. The Juju didn't work anymore. Hemisphere says that's what the Saints been missing, the ball hawk safety ever since Darren Sharper left. All right, yes indeed, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'd be interesting, but it's very odd, man, to kind of be honest with you, to see how I ain't gonna say odd, but man, I'm kind of looking at things saying, damn, the Saints kind of moving a little, interesting here. We thinking that they're supposed to be playing it close to the vest conservatively. But once again, when you start talking about conservatism and the Saints, it don't really match because that's not their natural behavior. There are people that just throw it out and whatever happens, happens. All right. So shout out to the fam, man. Let's get it going in this one. Let's take a peek at this one, fam. If y'all got any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat as we get going. Dennis Allen remains quiet on whether the Saints starters will play versus the Cardinals. This is from good folks at Saints Wire. Dennis Allen declined to share an update on whether starters will play in the Saints preseason opener versus the Cardinals after Thursday's practice was Allen's last time speaking to the media. Before the games, we likely won't know the verdict until shortly before the warm-ups on Saturday night. So what we do know is Derek Carr has lobbied to play in the preseason opener, while the Cardinals have already decided to keep Kyler Murray on the sideline. Allen said they haven't discussed the plan of any starters with the team. So the coaches begin the process of making decisions on Thursday. The interesting part of the decision is how New Orleans his last year's preseason, specifically on offensive side of the ball. Carr was entering his first year in the black gold, and he, along with the rest of the starters, played just one series in the preseason opener and rested through the other two exhibitions. So that's what I'm saying too. That's what I immediately said. In my mind, I'm saying, man, listen, the Saints are going to, I think they'll follow this same trend. I do think that you'll see Derek Carr in the first series, and then after that, you immediately see the backups roll in. You probably see, extended reps for guys like Tyler Fuaga, Trevor Penning, Lucas Patrick, the left guard position. You probably see McCoy and Ruiz come off the field, but those guys really need to stay on the field because they need the reps, and there's a battle at the left guard position. There's a lot of players, and we covered this on yesterday's stream where we kind of talked about what was going on with the issues with the injuries with the Saints, a lot of injuries impacting the team's wide receiver room and the corner and the secondary. So we did see some of these other players. You'll see maybe third and fourth stringers get in there and get an opportunity to play. And we'll see, man. All right. So anyway, it's difficult to believe the Saints will repeat the strategy again after last year's disappointing results. It may be a direct cause and effect, but it's difficult to be hesitant about taking the same approach. So the kickoff time is State Farm Stadium scheduled for 7 p.m. and the game will be broadcast on the Fox affiliate. So that's a few things to kind of talk about there as we go to some of this other stuff here. So yes, let's take an opportunity to kind of look at some of the storylines. Shout out to the good folks at Canal Street Chronicles. Important storylines to look out for the Saints' first preseason matchup. Many questions still need to be answered. All right, preseason, great time for teams to gain some insight here. So what happens here? So it stands true for the Saints in the first preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals. The offensive line is the biggest question surrounding the Saints roster. Is the offensive line, as they have only two starters from last year on this offensive line. That's Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz. One of the new faces, Tyler Fuaga, has been touted as an amazing selection for the Saints in the first round of the draft. In training camp, Fuaga has been a much needed bright spot, but moving from right tackle to left tackle is a challenge. First preseason game should be a great opportunity to see how Fuaga can handle being a left tackle, and how he can take his training camp successes into the real game. The left guard is the next position on the line with many questions going into the camp. The Saints were putting their trust in Nick Saldiveri. An early injury has seen his spot been taken away, and veteran Lucas Patrick is now a starter. If Patrick's able to hold his own and show he could be the starter, then the Saints could feel much better at left guard. Still questions there, Lucas Patrick. I'm not totally a Lucas Patrick. I like Lucas Patrick's style. I just don't think he's the answer. I think they see Nick Saldiveri as a better option. But last year he was banged up, didn't get any reps. This year he's got a calf issue, so it's just unfortunate for him. But perhaps this could be one of those positions that I talked about to start the show off when I said that the Saints could very well watch all of these teams release offensive linemen, and then before the spot between the end of the end of the preseason and the start of the regular season, the Saints then pivot and find a veteran offensive lineman, or to come to sign to the team to kind of be a plug and play option at the left guard position, perhaps. Now, that's if they are not entirely convinced that Lucas Patrick or Shane Lemieux or Sel DeVere or any of these guys are ready to go. Because just to be honest with you, they really need a strong option there in the offensive line. We can't have no fiddle faddling around. We cannot not run the ball. You get what I'm saying? The running game is too important to struggle with early. There has to be some certainties. Now we know Carr, it might have his issues and stuff like that, but the Saints have to run the ball. That is something that we can't play with. We can't listen. We got to run the football. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. We got to run the ball. If teams stop the Saints from running the ball, then that puts the pressure on Derek Carr to perform. And like I said, it also puts the pressure on the Saints' rookie offensive tackles, which is right now is not a good thing. So if I was a defensive coordinator breaking the Saints down, the first thing I would want to do is club up the run, stop them from running. I don't want them to run the football. Let's put all that pressure on Derek Carr and see if he can perform. That's what I would be thinking. So if I'm the New Orleans Saints, I have to. There is no options. This is mandatory. We have to run that football, especially when you got all these games lining up early in the season. Now, Carolina don't look like much, but that could very well change. I expect the Saints to beat them, but like I said, we don't take anybody lightly. We are in a situation where we don't take anybody lightly. Not Carolina, not Tampa Bay, not anybody. We're not taking anybody lightly. But the offensive line, they got to get this one right. And they already settled on 2 first-round picks at the tackle position, but inside, if you can find a guard that can help, that's better than the guards that you have, you better get them. Because failure this year means a complete and total tear down a lot of this going on. You're going to fire the coach. A lot of the stuff changes. The whole philosophy and the movement of the team from a financial standpoint all looks different if you don't do that. So there's no options there. You must find a way to run the football. Right tackle is the last spot on the offensive line with questions. The plan is for Trevor Penning to be the starter here, but things can go very wrong. Penning has already faced the challenge of moving from left to right, but he's also coming off a very disappointing season. Penning has been able to show his improvements during camp, but there are still worrying signs. Against the Cardinals will be vital for Penning to show that he can hold his own at right tackle. He can cut loose, and that's what it's about. And listen, let's dial down the expectations on Trevor Penning. I think Trevor Penning will play a lot better than we've seen Trevor Penning play at any point of any of these games, because you hadn't really, besides last year and the last game of the prior year when he had that one start against Carolina when he looks pretty decently in some of these practices. What could you really say that you've seen Trevor Penning really establish his stuff? He hasn't. But you should see a much improved Trevor Penning now. But the Saints can deal with a lot of that when you know that you build these young offensive linemen confidence by running the football, because they can put hands on the opposition and pull and drive them. And both Tali Fuaga and Trevor Penning, if anything, they can run block. So that's just what did the practice show me when Chase Young beat Trevor Penning 3 times in a row in practice to get around there to the quarterback, and Carr got frustrated? What does that show me? That shows me that Penning is still working on, listen, he'll struggle against elite pass rushers because that's what Chase Young is, like a lump. Chase Young, when healthy, is a difficult person to guard. He's 6'5", he's 260 something, 270, something like that. He's in great shape. He's healthy. And he got something to prove, so he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Chase Young is not a bum or a bust, and arguably the best defensive end that you have on the team. No disrespect to Carl Granderson, but Carl, man, had to get it out the mud. He had to work from the bottom on up. Went through everything to earn the spot. Chase Young has been a guy that just naturally had the talents. That's why he was the second. You don't be the second overall pick in a draft unless you're working with something, unless you're a dude that know what you're doing from that pass rushing perspective. The dude, when healthy, he could tear this shit up big time. So if Penning struggle against that, I understand that. It ain't like he was getting dominated by the second or third string defensive end coming in there. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So I expect that him to struggle against Chase Young because Chase Young's good. But what it does show you outside of being Chase Young is good is the fact that is that you're going to have to run the football with Penning. You're going to have to run the ball with Penning or give him some help over there. Send the tight end over there to chip for him every now and again, or a running back to go out there and chip the defender, whatever you got to do. But really, you got to run that goddamn ball. That's what you really need to do. You need to focus on running that ball. I can't put enough emphasis on that. But yeah, Tali Fuaga is going to struggle too. He's a rookie. Now, it's not just look at Penning and say, Penning, Penning, all that Penning, all that goddamn Penning Q. Now, Tali's gonna struggle too. Tali's going to struggle. Penning's, he's going to have his issues too. They're young offensive linemen. And like I said, the Saints didn't do Trevor Penning right. He's not supposed to look like this in his third year of NFL. He didn't play but one game in his rookie season. He played a handful of games last year and they benched him because they had him lined up at the wrong damn position. And instead of kind of doing it the right way, they set up here and played spades and all this other bullshit with Ryan Ramczyk all year when he was tore down. He was falling apart like a snowman in the middle of the summer, Louisiana hot summer. That's what Ramczyk was doing. He's falling apart. They knew that. They didn't want to move him because they knew he would have been exposed at that left tackle position. So they put that Penning over there and that tore his ass up. Instead of people blaming Dennis Allen and them damn fools that made that decision to put him over there, everybody just do what they do. They just point at the guy that's obvious. Oh, it's Penning garbage. Penning not garbage, bro. But you can't do this to young players. You can't do that to young players, man. You tear them up. You tear their confidence up. You screw them up mentally. And that's what the Saints did. Now they're dealing with a bit of a reclamation project in Penning because Penning's suffering with confidence issue. Can I really play this game? He didn't have those confidence issues when he came to the Saints. So it's and they'll tell you this. I'm not saying nothing that's new. They'll tell you this, that you always supposed to put your players in the best position to win. Did the Saints do that with Penning? No, they did not. Now they need him to step up in his third year. This is third year. He's supposed to be on another level right now. He don't supposed to be looking like that. But he hadn't played that much, and this is what you got. So you're going to have to craft a scheme that use your young players or your players' best ability, which is run the damn ball and operate a very quick timed offense until these offensive linemen, these young guys get enough experience where you can count on them more. See? But anyway, let me keep on going. That's the offensive line. But like I said, Penning and that, but really we could talk about Penning, we talk about it, but what do we really have at the left guard position? I got concerns. I don't know. I mean, I've seen Lucas Patrick play, but from my experience, Lucas Patrick has been mostly a guy that's been a backup guy. He's starred in spots. Are you cool with that? Because I know he can run block, but he has issues pass blocking too. You get me? And once again, Shane Lemieux, who is a good offensive lineman, when healthy, can't stay healthy. Nick Saldiveri can't stay healthy. So eventually, I think the Saints might kind of look at that thing between, like I said, the end of the preseason, start of the regular season, see if they can find a veteran that'll help them out. But yeah, ain't no doubts about it, fam. This is dire. The Saints must run the football. So don't be surprised if you see Tali Fuaga or Trevor Penning or Lucas Patrick out there for extended reps. Those guys got to get it because a lot is going to be counted on with those young offensive linemen. For real. All right, let's go to the defensive line. Let's head there next. Compared to the offensive line, there's much higher expectations surrounding the defensive line. The addition of Chase Young and the emergence of Carl Granderson have given Cam Jordan much needed help at the edge. Throughout the training camp, there has been increased positivity surrounding the position group. Early on, the news of Tanu Passanyo's injury was a big hit and brought up the question of depth at the edge. Two players who need to step up are Peyton Turner and Isaiah Foskey. The Snowman Turner has great potential, but his injury history has stunted any development. He will need to show his potential, but also better health in the upcoming matchup with the Cardinals. Foskey is coming off a disappointing rookie year, but his performances throughout training camp have been positive. If Foskey can continue this direction, he could be a great edge piece for the Saints. Last season, the additions of Colin Saunders, Brian Bresee, and Nathan Shepard created a solid core at the defensive tackle spot for the Saints. Going into this offseason, run defense was something that needed to improve. To provide some help, the Saints selected Christian Boyd in the 6th round. He has shown consistency and glimpses of starting potential throughout the training camp. Just like Isaiah Foskey, Boyd will need to continue to performing well throughout the preseason, and the matchup against the Cardinals will be a perfect opportunity for him. Okay, so pivoting to the defensive line. Last year, the defense gave against the run, that is, the secondary is very solid. We didn't get as many sacks as what we need. I think we was like back of the NFL in terms of sacks, like in our 20s. I mean, high 20s in terms of ranking in terms of the sacks. So Chase Young is supposed to help fix that. Cam Jordan, better health, is supposed to fix that. Carl Granderson, who was our best defensive end last year, kind of told us during this offseason that he kind of ran out of gas toward the back end of last year, which it impacted the stat. Remember, Carl Granderson wasn't getting home. He came out and said that. He was like, man, he kind of he kind of wore down toward the year, and he was coming into this offseason to stop that from happening. Peyton Turner, you should see a better play out of Peyton Turner because the pressure's off. The pressure's off. It's not like he's going to be the future of anything with the Saints. I think Peyton Turner will follow the way of the guy that they drafted him because they thought he reminded of him, and that's Marcus Davenport, and that has been true. He is following that path of Marcus Davenport, so he should feel free and play free because there is no pressure on him. The Saints declined his 5th year, and he very well could just go right into unrestricted free agency. Isaiah Foskey is a different matter. He's a 2nd-round pick a year ago. He has a future with the Saints. And Isaiah Foskey was originally seen as the replacement for Cam Jordan. So can Isaiah Foskey develop? And he has looked good. And Foskey's always had the speed. He talked about working on power when he came here before, but getting that technique down as well. Because he's a guy that has the sack gene. He just got to get stronger, work on his technique. And you should see in action Isaiah Foskey developing before your eyes and actually step up and do some stuff. And I was so happy they got Isaiah Foskey because I was saying, man, we need to go ahead and get that brother. That dude could play. You just got to give him some reps. And it's a difference because it's crazy. And that's what I said about words, man. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's old spiritual, saying that come out of the scriptures. Life and death in the power of the tongue, which you speak. The crazy part about it is the comparisons that people were laying on Peyton Turner, comparing them to Marcus Davenport. And you go and look at Marcus Davenport and Peyton Turner, they're following the exact same trajectory. Almost the same thing. Almost the same thing. The same thing. Well, he reminds the Saints drafted him because of that. Oh, he's big, he's physical and all that, and raw as a dog. Can't stay healthy. Crazy. But the Saints did not draft Isaiah Foskey like that. They didn't draft Foskey like that. Remember, when they drafted Isaiah Foskey, the Saints were looking for the closest defensive end that reminded them of Cam Jordan. Put one in the chat if you remember that. And Isaiah Foskey is going to be that guy. It's all a matter of time. He's definitely the future of the Saints because depending on how much money or what the Saints are going to do going into the future will tell all. It'll tell everything or how they want to do it. And then, of course, moving from that to what the Saints did from the defensive line, the interior defensive line last year, they totally rebuilt that thing. After King Tut and David Onyemata left, it was days, maybe hours I remember, I think they left, and then maybe a day later, the Saints had both Bink Saunders and Nate Shepard coming on in. They drafted Brian Bursey to step up, and now they let Malcolm Roach this past season go, and they bring in Christian Boyd, who's a very solid run stuffing interior defensive tackle, very solid, but he's strong, he's smart, and he provides even a pass rush from the internal position. How fast does he step up so that the Saints could get, he could take that Malcolm Roach role? That's what I'm looking at. Christian Boyd. How can Boyd press and take that Malcolm Roach role? Could he improve there? Because they need that kind of guy. Like, you have these guys that kind of teeter between defensive tackle and a nose tackle. Boyd's a big guy who he's super strong. We'll see how he look. He's been looking pretty good in camp. But the thing about him is the Saints, Dennis Allen loves pressure from his defensive tackles. That's why Bink's here. That's why Nate Shepard, those guys are known for being incredibly disruptive players, interiorly speaking. And it's a good philosophy, obviously, because you don't want to just depend on edge rushers to provide pressure for quarterbacks. You want the other two interior defensive linemen to provide pressure up the face to the face of the quarterback. So perhaps he flushes the interior guys, flush the quarterback to the edges. So if you can get pressure from everywhere, that then makes it difficult for that quarterback. And I can see the Saints are doing a good job of trying to do that this time around. So those guys from last year and what they got this year, they're hoping that can be the next bump the defensive line needs to take it to the next level, provide some more sacks, get things popping. All right, then finally, the article covers the quarterback. So a lot of the family members like talking about the position battle between Jake Haener and Spencer Rattler is arguably the most important storyline going into the preseason. But it's also very important to focus on the individual performances of each quarterback without comparing. In 23, Haener was having a strong training camp, but during the preseason, he struggled. In this year's camp, Haener has shown growth and maturity. He would need to put his past preseason performance behind him and show his worth to the team. I think that's he's going to do that. He looks totally different. And that's the thing about Jake Haener. If you watch his play and you contrast it versus what he did last year, he plays with a lot more confidence. He really does. You can look at him and see him stepping into the throw. He actually knows what he's doing. He's anticipating stuff. That's a big part of the game. Last year, you was just trying to soak up as much as you can. That's why I'm saying, for the family members, I know you love Spencer Rattler. He's a terrific quarterback with a lot of potential. Like when I watched him play in college, he had a lot of stuff going on. He wasn't totally a complete project, but you could see peaks of this guy's could be something else. And a lot of the family members look at him in his uniform, like a lot of times, and see him say he kind of favors Mahomes. I was like, yes, aesthetically, when he put his helmet on and he walking around, he kind of does aesthetically look like Mahomes without the weird walk, But outside of that, Rattler has all of the tools, but we have to be patient with Spencer Rattler because you don't want to throw too much at him too soon. Jake Haener had a full year in the NFL advantage on Spencer Rattler, and he was able to work with Chucky. He was able to get some tutelage offseason because that's what he was doing. When the season hit, he was soaking up game, going work with this person. And if you watch him, he has confidence in his play. It's like, okay, I got this. I'm figured out. And that's a part of his game is he don't have all the athletic stuff that Spencer has. Well, what he does have is he has a very high IQ in terms of, how to process the game, knowing where to put the ball. He has a high degree of accuracy, despite the fact that he doesn't have a big arm. So it's very interesting, man. We'll see how all that works in the end. So Haener has shown growth and maturity. Will need to put his past performances behind him. The other QB involved with this battle is 5th round choice in this draft pick, Spencer Rattler. The QB usually being drafted in the 5th round does not bring many expectations. But Rattler is a former 5-star QB touted as a future NFL star. In drafting Rattler, the Saints have some confidence in what his future could be. In Rattler's first preseason action, keeping up with the flow of the game while also making minimal mistakes is very important. Preseason is right around the corner, so it'll be extremely important for the Saints. All right, so many questions need to be asked before the season starts. The matchup against the Cardinals is a great opportunity to do this. So shout out to the Cornell Street Chronicles. Much love to the editor over there. Much love to you. Appreciate you, sis. All right, so listen, to kind of comment on the quarterback thing, there's a poll in the chat where it's asking who wins the QB battle. Right now, it's obviously to the Who Dat Nation. 75% of the pollers say it is Spencer Rattler. Only 25% give Jake Haener a chance. So that's very interesting, man, to be honest with you. But a lot of people like Spencer Rattler, and I am not mad at you guys for real, because it's good to have that type of energy around a quarterback in New Orleans after all of the stuff we went through with all these journeyman veteran quarterbacks, to be able to grow with a quarterback that you perceive could be here for a long period of time that has a lot of potential. The Saints have not seen that in a very long time. I'm talking about a drafted quarterback with a lot of potential that they brung in here and has the opportunity to be brung up from the bottom to the top to take the team. Haven't seen that in a long time. We've been investing in veterans. That's right. So to get one like that you grow with, man, we probably ain't seen that since Archie flipping Manning, man. That's probably the last time, because if you think about some of the quarterbacks the Saints drafted that actually have success, it ain't a big list. Most of the Saints' success came from journeyman veterans. Drew Brees was a vet from San Diego at the time. What's it, San Diego? Yeah, he was still San Diego. I want to say it was the San Diego Chargers at the time. Jameis came over from Tampa. Teddy Bridgewater came over from Minnesota or Miami? I forgot which one he did or whatever it was. I forgot where he came from. So it goes on and on. Aaron Brooks came over from the Packers. Aaron Brooks came over. Jake Delhomme, he was undrafted. And the Saints picked Aaron Brooks over here, and Jake just went to Carolina and just started winning, kicking the Saints' ass every chance he can get. He actually took Carolina to a Super Bowl one time and lost. But we had Jake Delhomme. We had Jake here, I mean, it ain't been that long. So, all right. So anyway, let's keep it moving, man. On to our guys over here at the Saints News Network. My brother Kyle T. Mosley and the crew, John Hendricks, Bob Rose, all the fam over there. All right, this is Bob's new article right here that he put out called "Predicting the Saints 53-Man Roster: Who Will Shine in the Preseason Opener." So let's kind of delve into this thing right here with the first of 3 preseason games about to be played. Plenty of opportunities remaining for the players to solidify a job. Here's Bob's shot at the 53-man roster. So see if y'all agree with brother Bob on this one, man. He gonna pick him early. I'm gonna do a stream, man, when I do this and try to pick him early. I think I did that already, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. I did it a while. I be forgetting. I be doing a lot of stuff, fam. Y'all got to forgive me, man. All right, so here we go. Here is the preseason 53 roster projection by brother Bob. He got quarterback 3 of them. You see right there, you got Spencer right there about to throw a touchdown. All right, so he's got Derek Carr, Jake Haener, and Spencer Rattler. He says after the release of Nate Peterman, these are the only 3 quarterbacks on the roster card as the starter, but you'd like to see him get some reps to be comfortable as possible in the new offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak's system before the start of the regular season. The drama here is the backup spot. Haener and Rattler have both had good moments in camp, but we now get to see if that can carry over in the game situation. If neither inexperienced quarterback plays well, it could force the Saints to look into the remaining free agents for a veteran with some starting experience to back up Carr. I think the Saints feel good about Jake Haener. And like I said, they did this early on. When you cut Nate Peterman, I can't overemphasize this point. When they cut Peterman like a week ago, they cut him a week before the first preseason game, right? That's big, because what that does is that puts a lot of, I ain't gonna say pressure. Well, I guess you can say pressure, but it's a big vote of confidence on how comfortable not only Dennis Allen, but the rest of the coaches feel with the backup QB position in the hands of Jake Haener or Spencer Rattler. Because Peterman was a guy that was not only just a veteran journeyman backup quarterback who was familiar with what they were doing, but also was a backup behind Derek Carr with the Raiders. Dennis Allen was familiar with him, and they were comfortable with Nathan Peterman. But for them to ask him a week before these preseason games, that showed me a lot of confidence been placed into these two guys. So the Saints feeling like, hey man, these are the guys. The only way this changes if injuries rear their ugly heads. All right, 4 running backs. Bob Rose says 4 running backs the Saints keep. All right, let's hear from them. Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller, and the fullback Xander Horvath. Players to watch: Jordan Mims, James Robinson, Jacob Kabodi, and Adam Prentice. Kamara still awaiting a new contract from the team, likely won't see much action. Williams looks to rebound after a disappointing season in his first year with the Saints. Kendre Miller has a hamstring and is dealing with another injury and won't play, something that has drawn criticism from Dennis Allen. I gave this spot to Miller based on his explosiveness and potentially flash during an injury-plagued rookie year. With him out of action again, Mims, veteran Robinson, and undrafted rookie Kabodi could have great opportunities in front of them to at least make the coaching decisions difficult. Now, y'all already know that Jordan Mims is cutting up, and I don't know how bad the hamstring issue with Kendre Miller is. I would caution it not to be, that bad. But Jordan Mims, man, is going to make it a very difficult choice with the black and gold. And I see what Bob did, he added the fullback along with the running backs as opposed to have it a separate spot where you have 4 running backs, because it would be easy for the Saints to just have, it depends on like if Kendre Miller, if he's not good to go, but I think he's going to be good to go. But man, Jordan Mims is just really something else, man. All right. So anyway, let's move it on to the wide receivers. 6 wide receivers, Bob says, he looking at to make the team. Who are they? Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry, Cedric Wilson, Mason Tipton, and Bub Means. Players to watch: Equimius St. Brown, Samson Nakua, Marquez Callaway, Kevin Austin Jr., and Stanley Morgan Jr. Olave and Shaheed are terrific playmakers and will be the top 2 wideouts after slow starts from each. Perry and Wilson are starting to come on and are battling it out for the 3rd spot. Undrafted rookie Tipton had a tremendous camp but may not play Saturday because of a hamstring injury suffered the other day. Means, who's a 5th-round choice, has his own injury issues. His spot is far from guaranteed. He'll need to put, both stay on the field and make some plays. Otherwise, the spot will need to open up. Well, could be wide open between St. Brown, Samson Nakua, and Callaway. Yeah, and this is the thing that's kind of ravishing. He got the asterisk next to the guys that are hurt. If Mason Tipton is healthy, he makes the team because he's a natural. I mean, that's an easy call right there, in my opinion. The Bub Means is a good call too, because Bub Means, the 5th-round draft pick. The Saints see a lot in this guy. He got really good route running. He has a degree of speed, makes difficult catches. He's a really gritty wide receiver that blocks and do all the stuff that you like. But having like Olave, Rashid at the top, and then A.T. Perry, who we expecting to make the jump, and then the veteran of Cedric Wilson there kind of balances the wide receiver room, and then 2 really good undrafted Mason Tipton, but drafted Bub means that the wide receiver position is in a good place. It really is for the Saints. Tipton, Bub Means, A.T. Perry, it's a solid unit because you can get Tipton on kick return, punt return. It's a very solid unit, to be honest with you, man. All right, let's keep it going. The tight ends, 4 tight ends are being kept: Juwan Johnson, Foster Monroe, Taysom Hill, and Dallin Hawker. He got an asterisk there because he's kind of, All right, so players to watch is Michael Jacobson. Johnson's foot surgery will likely keep him out of action for the entire preseason. He's projected to be ready for the season opener, but a delay in his rehab could cause him to start the year on the PUP list. We got to keep an eye out because I've heard the same thing, that he's supposed to be ready for the regular season, game 1. But Jacobson and undrafted rookie Dallin Hawker have been making plays early in their camp. If they can carry that over into games, it should force the coaches to keep at least one of them. If Johnson is ready for the season opener, who knows where the versatile Hill will be listed on the depth chart, but he'll continue to be a valuable weapon at several spots on offense. Perhaps we could see Taysom Hill as a fullback. because somebody got to fulfill that Kyle Juszczyk role. Somebody has to do it, and Taysom is the guy. It's like you got the Christian McCaffrey role, whatever you want to call it. That's Alvin Kamara. Who's going to be Kyle Juszczyk? That's Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill can do that. So, we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really excited about it. That's what I really want to pay attention to right there, to be honest with you, is where Taysom Hill lines up. I want to see some Taysom Hill as fullback. I think that's terrific. Man, do you not understand what that means? Taysom Hill, man, as a fullback, that's cheating. That's cheating. That's cheating, man. The Saints cheating. Because Taysom Hill, man, you put Taysom Hill as a fullback, you can turn the ball off to Taysom Hill. He outrunning everybody. What fullback doing that type of shit? That's a cheat. That's what you call that? That's a cheat code. Yeah, Taysom Hill at fullback is a cheat code for the Saints. That's a cheat code, fam. That's a cheat code. Because Taysom lining up at the fullback, he blocking for Alvin Kamara. Are you kidding me? And he loves the contact, so that's like crazy. So anytime he might block the backfield and then take off, it just opens all kind of weird. It just does all kind of just all type of plays that you can run with Taysom Hill back there. Because I don't know if you ever seen a fullback like that. Have you ever seen a fullback like that? Who's the greatest fullback that you know? I can think of some really good fullbacks, but a guy like Taysom that's just as fast as the cornerbacks and defensive backs that he's running from. Because usually when you think about a fullback, it's a big lumbering guy who likes to block, but he's slow. Some of them might have I know Kyle Juszczyk is, he at his best game, he can do some stuff. Kyle Juszczyk is not on that Taysom athletic level. Not even close. And being that Taysom still in his mid-30s, that's going to be a very, because it's all about mismatches, right? Setting up the mismatch. Taysom Hill's the ultimate mismatch. And you got him blocking for Alvin Kamara and Taysom and Kamara on the field at the same time with Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and all those guys are healthy. That you can then switch plays, and how the Saints going to operate with that offense is every play going to look like every play, whether they're passing or running. I just find it uber awesome, man, to see with the type of mismatch nightmares the Saints can produce for these other teams. It's going to be interesting, man. So me personally, I'm going to be watching to see where Taysom is. That's the biggest thing. Now, I know we like the quarterback situation, but where does Taysom line up at? How much does he play? And where does he play? That's what I'm looking at. Now, we all know he's supposed to be the Kyle Juszczyk role player, but do the Saints keep him there? And then we hear all this other stuff about Taysom Hill being used as a quarterback and all this kind of stuff. But is that just smoke? His predominant position is the fullback now, from what I'm hearing. So we'll see how it all goes, but it does open the door, man. And then, of course, the tight end position. Dallin Hawker is the future of the tight end position. We know that Juwan Johnson has, he'll be healthy and ready to go. Foster Monroe is a veteran tight end. Probably the best blocking tight end we have is Foster Monroe. So it ain't just like he's there. But Foster Monroe is a solid blocking guy who can occasionally leak out and make catches for you as well. So he ain't no buster. He ain't no garbage time tight end. Foster Monroe can catch passes for you. He can also block for you. He's a valuable piece there. And then Dallin Hawker, who is the future of that position, who can block and catch and is in the mode of the modern tight end. You just got to get them the reps, be patient with them. And plus the Saints working with what we think is a restricted monetary situation headed into the future. Dallin Hawker is the right price range for him. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And to continue, offensive line, 9 players, Bob says: Fuaga, Patrick, McCoy, Ruiz, Penning, Saldiveri, Lemieux, Udo, and Kyle Hergel. Players to watch: Landon Young, Josiah Israhim. And what's interesting is that Landon Young, man, he's in the last year of his deal. Where does Landon Young, what happens with him? Because he was supposed to, at this development of his playing career, Landon Young was supposed to be fighting for a start, like actually in there with the starting position. Like Landon Young could play guard. He was playing guard. They drafted him as a I think he was a guard. And then he could play, no, he was a tackle if I'm not mistaken. Then they converted him to a guard. And then they kind of used him in a dual usage. But Landon Young is supposed to be at this stage of his career competing for a starting position. He's in the final year of his contract. We're supposed to see him full. This is fully realized, Landon Young. And you got other guys in there over him. So, I mean, that's not a good decision. Bob says still easily the biggest concern on this team. Penning continues to be extremely inconsistent at best, a major liability at worst. Patrick will likely get the start against Arizona, but nobody has taken command of the competition at left guard. Fuaga has had impressive moments at left tackle, but the depth is here also a major concern. This entire unit must show some promise over the next few weeks, or the Saints will be scrambling to find solutions on the waiver wire, which is, yeah. You're hard to debate with Bob on that, man, but he's saying some factual stuff. Me personally, I think Penning, like I said, man, don't be dropping back doing a lot of drop back passes with Trevor Penning or Tally Fuaga. You know, if Fuaga's holding his own right now and doing what he do. But like I said, if you want to help out young offensive linemen, run the ball. Set up the play action. Don't hold on to the ball. Get the ball out. And that's based on timing. That'll be Derek Carr's responsibility. Protect yourself by getting rid of the ball, going through your progressions and get the ball out on time. And that's what guys like Andrew Janoko and Clint Kubiak are constantly putting in Derek Carr's head. You know, it's a timed offense. Let's get rid of the ball. All right, jumping to the defense now. 5 defensive ends, Bob says. Jordan, Granderson, Young, Peyton Turner, and Isaiah Foskey. That's not a bad mix because all those guys are athletic players to watch. Nico Lalos and Trajan Jeffco, who's hurt. This unit needs a big improvement after underachieving a year ago. Granderson and Young have both had outstanding caps so far and have been extremely disruptive. If this continues, then the team might be able to cut down on the heavy snap count for Jordan, therefore making him more effective late in games and down the stretch of the season. Turner needs to stay healthy and show the potential he flashed during each of the training camps. Foskey has shown some pass rush potential, but still looks completely lost against the run. Both Turner and Foskey should easily make the roster, but could find spots in jeopardy when passing which has an Achilles return if they don't consistently perform. Indeed, and yes, Tanu Passanio is supposed to return later on in the year. This is Dennis Allen said he'll be watching the progress, obviously, but we shall see. All right, moving to the DTs. 4 of those guys, Brissy, Shepard, Saunders, and Boyd there with Kendall Vickers and Jack Heflin, players to watch. I like Jack Heflin. He needs to step up and make himself known, kind of make it a competition. Brian Brissy's dealing with a foot injury, but is looking to make a bigger impact after a strong rookie year. Shepard is one of the underrated contributors for the defense. Saunders did very little in his first year with the Saints, but has a strong camp thus far. Boyd has shown some tremendous power in one-on-one. Yes, he's very strong. You got to work on his fundamentals, but during practice, he's a player to watch, though, for the rest of the preseason. If he slips, both Vickers and Heflin have shown that they can at least be competent members of a rotation. I like Jack Heflin, man. You got to make his name known, though, bro. All right, linebackers, 5 of them. Who are your 5, Bob? You got Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Willie Gay, Kaliki Hudson, and Anthony Orji. How about that? DeMarco Jackson, Stahlberg, Jalen Ford, and Monty Rice are players to watch. Davis, Werner, and Gay could be the best trio of linebackers the Saints have had in decades. The competition for the spots behind them is fierce and close. That's another battle we got to watch out for. Besides the QB battle, the backup linebacker position is another spot we need to pay attention to. And like I said, the Saints have they have drafted guys and they have brought in undrafted guys, and they have yet to determine the future linebacker coming out. We know we drafted Pete Werner, second year guy. They gave him his paper the other day, so he's locked into the Saints to 2027. He's a year past Demario Davis. When Demario leaves, then he'll be there when Demario's contract is up. Willie Gay is on a 1-year deal, prove it option, trying to see if Willie Gay do enough to get him some money. You know, do the Saints look at him? Anthony Orji from Vanderbilt is another dude. It's just a big safety type linebacker with speed, can cover, really intelligent, making that separation there. All right, Jackson is the most experienced in this defense, but has been little more than a special teams contributor. DeMarco Jackson was another guy that they drafted, Hadn't really done too much. I know he was banged up in his rookie campaign. Jalen Ford is a guy that was extremely productive out of the University of Texas. The Saints picked up this year. He's been dealing with issues and injury. He just made it back to practice. Monty Rice is a veteran who's been in the game, was with Tennessee, is a playmaker, but yet to kind of establish himself there. Nephi Sewell's another guy who was like, Nephi was the guy. Like Nephi put Zach Bond on the bench and forced the Saints to play him at the that rush position, to be a pass rusher. Because they tried to hoist up Zach Bond there, and Nephi Sewell said, "Nah, I think I got this. I'm better." Then Nephi got hurt. He's still hurt. But he was a linebacker I liked a lot, so it's good to see guys like Anthony Orji step up. We'll see what happened with Jalen Ford in the preseason. All right. So anyway, Hudson is a coverage specialist. Kaliki Hudson's another guy the Saints picked up in free agency this year. Is a coverage specialist, also able to play on special teams. Rice is another specialized veteran, but one better against the run. Orji and Stallbird have consistently stood out during drills since training camp started. Ford, a rookie 5th-round choice, has missed a lot of time with injuries during camp, but was a playmaker at Texas. He really was, if you watch the film. 200-plus tackles in 2 years is actually pretty good. Those are 6 players we see most of the defensive reps during the preseason. Pay close attention to how they perform on special teams as well, because that will be the determining factor on who fills the 2-3 spots at the position. Cornerback, only 4. 4 guys, says Bob. Lattimore, Adebo, Taylor, and Kool-Aid McKinstry. There is no better trio of cornerbacks than Lattimore, Adebo, and Taylor. Kool-Aid McKinstry, a 2nd-round pick, can make this an elite unit capable of shutting down every deepest receiving unit in the league. Lattimore is currently dealing with an injury, but should be ready for the season opener. Adebo is in a contract year, chip on the shoulder, and is coming off the best year of his career. Taylor, who had some rocky moments in 23 after a strong rookie campaign, is having a standout cap sub forward. We said that. In his 3rd year, that's one of the things that some players, athletes struggle with, the transition from rookie year into the 2nd year, the sophomore slump, as they call it, is some players deal with that. A great deal of them, not all players, but a great deal of them deal with that. It happened to Paulson Adebo in the 2nd year. He didn't look that good. People were saying the same stuff about Alontae Taylor they were saying about Paulson Adebo, and then Paulson Adebo step up in his 3rd year. At times looked like the best cornerback the Saints had. And then look, Taylor's doing the same thing. He's gonna establish himself too. All right, and let's keep it going. Moving here. All right, the 6. He got 6 safeties, 4 corners, and 6 safeties for Bob. Okay, so 10 defensive backs: Tyrann Mathieu, Jordan Howden, Will Harris, Ugo Amadi, Jonathan Abram, and J.T. Gray. Watching out Millett Bradford and Rod Teamer. The outlook for this position changed drastically if the Saints signed Justin Simmons, who met with the team earlier this week. Tyrann Mathieu is a defensive leader and is cemented as one of the starters. Howden seems to have the inside track at the other spot, but could be pushed by former Lions safety Chris Harris, who is the kind of a utility knife because he could play multiple corner positions as well as he could play a little safety for you. So his value is recognized. And like at linebacker, the final spots at this position will be determined by special teams. There's an area where Gray, Amadi, and Teamer have flourished throughout their careers. If Simmons is not signed, then one of those players will also need to show that they can provide some quality defensive depth. Here, a legitimate concern at the position. And then, of course, the specialists, Group A, Lou Headley, and Zach Wood. Same from what we had last year. Players to watch: Charlie Smith and the punter Matthew Heibel. Smith has shown a strong leg, but he has to show a lot to supplant Group A, who has a good rookie year despite some of the costly misses. Wood has been one of the most league's consistent long snappers. Yeah, Wood's not going anywhere. And punter is potentially a major problem. Headley was extremely erratic during his rookie year, though showed some good directional ability for a coach like Dennis Allen, who typically likes to play it close to the vest and win games with his defense. Punting is a critical factor in gains for field position advantage. Unless Headley or Highball can show consistency, it's possible that the Saints punter for 24-25 isn't currently on the roster. I know Matthew Highball has a big leg, and I know you have Lou Headley, who came over from overseas doing that kind of stuff, and you really look at that and you say, man, I didn't really like how he punted last year, but he is doing better in training. In training camp. And that's another position to look at for the kicker. Now, last year, a lot of people got on Blake Group A, but then once the Saints decided to make the move to a young kicker, you have to be patient. You got to be patient, my fam. You got to be patient with a rookie player. That's what I say. When a team of the Saints, an experienced veteran team, like one of the oldest teams in the game, go to a young kicker, that was like, man, what are you doing? that don't make any sense to me. Like, you got an older team, and the team right there, that means that your window, you feel like you're in the midst of competing. You want a veteran guy that you can rely on, not a rookie. But Dennis Allen got rid of our last kicker and traded them to Sean Payton for a 7-round pick. What was, I didn't like that at all. Then you settle for a young kicker, and now it's like, okay, well, we just got to rock with the kid. He's a rookie. The same thing I say about Tali Fuaga, whatever inexperienced players the Saints have at the position. They got to rock with them. But like that offensive line stuff that we talked about, I think eventually, like when stuff started getting cut down, the Saints going to make some moves. They'll find somebody out there that they can deal with on that offensive line if they don't like how things are popping. All right, and then, of course, fam, the preseason game is tomorrow at 7 p.m. We went over a lot of the players and talked about that today. As you can see, some of the IR status right here, as you see Pete Werner, Stanley Morgan, Mason Timpton, and others are there. And then, of course, you see their injury guys right there. B.J. Ojolari is on the IR. You see Marquise Haynes Sr. is questionable. But, Kyler Murray is not going to be in this game, obviously. So we just have to watch and see how it all goes. Let me hit y'all with this is the depth chart right now of the Arizona Cardinals. And with Kyler Murray out, then you'll see Desmond Ridder. That's right. Remember him? That's the guy we used to mess over when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. So he went from one birdie team to the next. He went from the floundering floppish Falcons to the Cardinals. So there you go. He'll be more than likely starting for them tomorrow for the team. And then I think I've seen a report where Marvin Harrison Jr. was supposed to play a little bit in this matchup. So we're good to see Marvin Harrison's son play in the game. And you'll probably see some of these other guys because a lot of these guys are not hurt. So you'll probably see some of these other guys playing. James Conner, Trey Benson. Going to be interesting to see Trey Benson play, man. If y'all remember Trey Benson from his time with the Houston, from Florida State, this kid here, man, this dude here was really solid for Florida State. And, man, he's going to be terrific for Arizona, man. That was a good call right here, getting Trey Benson, man. That's a solid player right there. But then you see other guys there, so you'll see the rest of these guys. Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, tight end Trey McBride, Paris Johnson Jr., Evan Brown, Froholt is the center, Will Hernandez, and Big Jonah Williams at the right tackle position. That's some of the starters there. And then Xavier Collins, Balil Nichols, Justin Jones, Dante Stills, Mac Wilson Sr., Kazir White, Dennis Gardeck, Sean Murphy Bunting, that's the former Buccaneer, Jalen Thompson, Buda Baker, it's one of the best young safeties in the game, Max Melton, and Garrett Williams will be operating at the nickel position for the team. And there you go. All right, so that's some of these guys that you'll see. Prater and Gillikin. Remember this guy, Blake Gillikin? That's our old guy. He is with the Arizona Cardinals. So shout out to Blake Gillikin, man. That's the guy we shouldn't have got rid of. And the Cardinals say, oh, you got a good punter? We'll take him off your hands. Thanks a lot, Saints. So you'll see that. And then, of course, when the backups come in, you'll see Ritter, you'll see Clayton Tune, and those guys pop in there and see what they can do. So, yeah, very interesting, man, here. And, of course, the black and gold, let's kind of transition to them. You see Derek Carr. I think you'll see Derek Carr in the series. You'll see Derek Carr in there. I don't know about Elvin Kamara, perhaps. Chris Olabi's there. Rashid Shaheed won't play neither with Juwan Johnson. We'll see other guys. You see A.T. Perry in there. Taysom will be in there doing this thing. We'll see all these other guys that are not dealing with issues or injuries. How long we'll see our starting offensive line, but how long do we see Fuaga or Trevor Penning out there, Lucas Patrick? I would expect the Saints give them a lot of work in terms of, getting those reps in, man. That could really help them, man, if they can get them full reps. So we'll see. And, of course, defensively speaking, they got Cam there, but, Carl Granderson, Chase Young. Is Chase playing the game? That's another thing. The next question, he's playing healthy. Maybe they give him a rep or two. Cam Jordan in there, Peyton Turner, the rest of them, Shepard, Kalen Saunders, Brian Brissett, those guys are dealing with issues. Do we see those guys? Maybe not. If not, do you see Kendall Vickers, Jeff Haplin, Kyler Ball, and those kind of guys? So you'll see some numbers out there y'all probably won't recognize. So it's probably good to have your number list so you can recognize the players. And of course, Pete Werner probably not going to play, or Demario Davis more than likely. You might see Willie Gay, Anthony Orji, DeMarco Jackson, Kaliko Hutton. We see all those linebackers, probably not Jalen Ford. And then the cornerbacks, Paulson, Adebo, and Lattimore are not going to play. You'll see the rest of the guys. You maybe see Kool-Aid McKinstry, Mac McClain, and all these type of dudes. You'll see most of those guys. Shamar Jean Charles. You'll see Alante Taylor, perhaps Tyrann Mathieu. A lot of our guys who are hurt. No, sir, you won't see them. You'll see the backups, which is cool because we really need to see, some of these young guys, the backups play. And like I said, also, when we talk about the Saints, some of the positions that we need to pay attention to in the matchup tomorrow against Arizona, another big spot to pay attention to. We talked about the backup QB position. We talked about some of the wide receivers that are going to be given a chance strictly for the fact that a lot of injuries impacted our wide receiver position. And I talked about Taysom Hill, how the Saints play Taysom Hill, moving him, how does that look? That'll be interesting. But also the kick return and punt returner roles. Who are those guys? Who are going to be your kick return and punt return? So that's another, situation that we need to pay attention to, the return positions for the black and gold. So that'll be stuff that we need to pay attention to as well. All right, fam. All right. As we just are just over an hour, let's kind of hit the chat, fam. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm not going to hold y'all for a long ass show tonight. No 2-hour streams tonight. I know tomorrow we'll be firing up. Tomorrow we'll have full coverage. We'll start with the pregame, then the actual game, and then the recap of the game, which comes with the post press conference, live reactions to what Dennis Allen and others are saying. We'll do all of that tomorrow on the Sports Coma. So if your family members are tuned in, if you can see the game, if you can't see the game, then come on over here and listen to the Sports Coma. We got it. We're going to have it popping, baby. We back in effect. The play-by-play, man. I was like, yeah, man, after a long off season, man, I had to get kind of freshen up on my play-by-play skills, baby. You know what I did? I just started, I called that not the entire card, but damn near all of the card for the Crawford versus Madmarov card that happened with fights, the early fights, the fights that matter, actually. No disrespect to the smaller fighters on the prelims, but yeah, that was a good call. Because to me, man, calling the fights are a lot easier than calling like the actual football game. When you call in the fights, you're talking about punches that they're throwing, the mannerisms. Sometimes it's different. Like when you're talking about football, it's a lot, man, in there. But it's a lot because you have to be able to hold like if it's just me, so I have to hold the family members' attention while we calling the games, engaging and talking to the family members, and it looks easy, man. But it was years of work, man. It's years of work, and ain't no damn school. I did not go to any damn school to learn it. This is straight up black and gold ingenuity, baby. Straight out of the boot. All right, so big ups to the family. Let me see if the family members, y'all got any questions, man. Much love to y'all. Appreciate you. I see your role, brother Quavadius. What's up, Kelvin? Good to see you, brother. KD, much love, fam. Appreciate you as well. KD, he says, I'm surprised Paschal's still in the league. My brother played with him in high school in Maryland. He said he's not even like that. Okay, wide receiver 3. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, what's up? Another JLJ Benefit High School presentation. It's showing proof for Peyton Turner. Yeah, Peyton Turner, bro. It's, bro. Even if, and I said this before, Peyton Turner could be on some Trey Hendrickson type stuff, right? You go and get like 15 sacks and the Saints still don't sign him. I mean, for real. I just don't see Peyton Turner. It's over with. It's over with for Peyton Turner in terms of him having a future with the team, unless he take a cheap contract to come back here. I mean, you got the context clues, like the breadcrumbs that people leave. Like the Saints left a massive breadcrumb. A bread truck, to be honest with you, named Chase Young. I mean, you draft Peyton Turner to be the future of the defensive end position right? He's supposed to take that other position, right? And last time I checked, it was Marcus Davenport who was starting on that side. Marcus Davenport is a bust. So Peyton Turner was supposed to step up. And Peyton Turner followed Marcus Davenport, unfortunately. But even if he balls out and does a Trey Hendrickson thing this year, the Saints ain't going to sign him. Hell, they're not going to sign Peyton Turner. He's gone. Chase Young is the dude that the Saints are looking at. When they look at Chase, like, oh, we got Chase Young. Spent $12 million on Chase Young, fam, on a 1-year prove-it deal. And you have a first-round draft pick defensive end there that's supposed to, in his final year, he's supposed to have 5 years. The Saints turned down the 5th-year option, rightfully so, because it was north of $12 million, like $13 million for 1 year for Peyton Turner. Who's going to pay that? Saints say, oh, nope. Mickey said, oh, well, listen, I'm not going to, I don't know. I don't think so. No, he was right not to think so, because no. But Chase Young is sitting on top of the defensive end position. Peyton Turner has to work for reserve reps, and that he's not going to reach his fullest form with reserve reps. The time is up for Peyton Turner. When they did that let me know right now that's over with for Peyton Turner. It's now the focus is Isaiah Foskey. That's who the focus is on. What's up, Julian? How you doing, my brother? Appreciate you for being in the stream. Hemisphere says, I remember the reason why Group A made the team. He beat out Will Lutz. I have no doubt the reason why is because Sean Payton wanted Lutz. So Mickey told DA we need to let Lutz go. Sean Payton more. Yes, he did. And it didn't make any sense because if Sean Payton wanted him, you could have had an offer. If Sean Payton wanted him, we could have offered him a lot more than what was it, a 7-round selection? Didn't they trade Will Lutz out there? The Saints traded Will Lutz, I want to say. And they traded him like, oh, he had all of the negative bullshit that came out. It's like they leaked something. I don't know if they leaked it, but it had a bunch of negative press about Will Lutz. And I'm like, Will Lutz just came off of core surgery. Of course, the next year his numbers were down because he came off of core surgery. So his numbers down. But he been kicking his ass off in Denver. They knew that. Sean Payton won. That's why I was kind of upset. But I say, ain't Sean Payton come over here and get whatever the F he wants from the Saints? Let me look that up. Give me a second, fam. Let me look that up because I'm going off of my memory on that Will Lutz, and I want to know that Will Lutz did the same. I'm trying to remember. I want to say they traded them for a 7th-round pick. Oh, let me make sure. Let's see if my memory any good. Yeah, NFL. Yeah, the Saints are trading Will Lutz to the Broncos. He'd be united with Sean Payton. A 2024 7th-round pick. I'm right. I'm good in my memory. They traded him. 2024 7th-round selection. The Saints. They traded Will Lutz to the Broncos for a 7th-round pick. And that's what I was kind of upset about. I was like, what kind of effing team these people running when anytime Sean Payton can just get whatever he wants? Like the Saints made when they traded Sean Payton, the Saints gave a 3rd-round pick to the Broncos with Payton when Payton was good enough for trade. They gave them a 3rd-round pick along with Payton. You didn't need to give them a 3rd-round pick, but Loomis gave that pick to Denver because Denver's draft stock was down and Sean Payton didn't want to go in there with his cupboards too bare. And Mick and Loomis helped him out. Nobody even questioned that move. I was like, why did we surrender a 3rd-round pick along with Sean Payton? When them people wanted Payton alone, we didn't have to surrender the 3rd. None of that was even mentioned. Not one question was even asked about that. About, hey, man, why y'all traded that 3rd-round pick with Payton to Denver when Payton was good enough? They just wanted Sean Payton. That's why I was upset. Like, what kind of bullshit Mickey Loomis is running here? Well, Sean Payton's my friend, Q. That's what the hell you do for a friend. You must not have many friends, do you? Oh, no, Mickey, I got plenty of friends. I got plenty of friends, and I help them out. Oh, well, now, didn't you understand then? No, don't you? How big I? No, I don't understand, because if you're in the business, you got to understand that you have to build this team up, and giving away 3rd-round picks it doesn't make any sense. You're hurting your team, and now you're cat strapped, and you could use that 3rd-round pick in the future. Well, that's not how I see it. And besides, I'm in the will of the damn team. I ain't going anywhere. You like that, huh? Yeah, I like that. So I mean, it just didn't make any sense to me. All right, Saint, what's up, St. John? How you doing, my friend? He says you surprised Mike Thomas is still not signed. Not really, bro. I think Mike Thomas is still hurt, bro. I think he's still rehabbing, bro. All right, shout out to you, bro. Jermaine, what's happening, bro? Big ups to you. Good to see you, fam. Appreciate you as well. All right, we got Slick Mickey in the room. Hey, Slick Mickey, how you know? Hold on now. Well, I ain't talking shit. He says, if Dennis doesn't make this thing work by midseason, I will fire him and I will be. Oh, no. Nah, Mickey, you can't be the head coach, dude. Shoot. Hell nah, brother. No, Mickey, don't do it, brother. Hell no, Mickey. No, Mickey. That would be an absolute disaster. Mickey on the field trying to coach up people. I told you run a goddamn ball. What's wrong with you guys? I told you to do the Slick Mickey reverse. What the hell happened? You guys just did a dive. The Mickey dive. Every play is named after Mickey in some kind of way. It's the Slick Mickey reverse. It's the Mickey dive. It's the Mick Master deep ball. All the plays are oddly named after Mickey Loomis. It's just crazy. That's how it'll be crazy. It'll be ridiculous. All right, 504 Coast 6Q. How often do you think we kick Cam inside? I think a lot of that with that NASCAR package that we could watch out for too, bro. I think that'll be a big part of the game. But that's the rebuilt NASCAR package that has Chase Young, Carl Granderson, Cam, and Brian Bresee. So I'm really excited about that, man. I really am, man. I'm excited about that. And the fresh Cam is big too. So yeah, that's a big part of the game, man. I love to see that. All right, what's up, Cal? Says, are we signing Simmons? I don't know, bro. Because the few moves there was the craziness about it was you let Justin Simmons out of the door, but the thing is the Saints wanted Simmons. And they're saying that what they're saying is, word on the street is that the money wasn't all the issue. He wanted multiple years. He didn't want a prove it deal. He wanted years on his contract, and the Saints don't want to have, all of those. But then again, you just gave Pete Werner a 3-year deal. He like, hey, man, listen, I want to have multiple years, and the Saints kind of buffed him on that. So he going to go look around. And I think the Saints will keep the door open for him. They'll keep the door open for him. All right. Thank you, Kel. Mickey says, okay, Mickey, what you saying now, bro? He says, Coach Payton gave me a bag under the table. I knew it. See, Mickey? Thank you for telling us that, Mickey. Thank you. Oh, yeah, he gave me a bag underneath the table. Listen, I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, that's what you said, right, Q? That's how the young folks said. Huh? They always say it's keeping it real. Is they're still saying, no, they're not really saying that really that much anymore, Mickey, but it's okay. We understand where you're coming from, brother. All right. Yeah. Mickey calling plays, man. That would be absolute buffoonery and craziness of epic proportion levels for real. All right, Hoffa said, don't make Loomis put that thing. Oh, yeah. See, and Mickey, hold on now, big guy. I let me tell you something. I'll put that. I carry that guy. I got it on me. I am carrying it on me right now. I practice. I stand in the mirror and I pull it. I'm like Billy the Kid. I'm like Mickey the Kid. That's what I call myself. Mickey the Kid. I'll get you. All right. The hemisphere. I remember. Okay. Yeah. He said that. Yeah. I believe that, bro. It was crazy, man. All right. KD says these wide receivers hurt going to give players trying to make the squad like Bub Means and Tipton even Callaway a chance to leave an impression. Yeah. I think if Mason Tipton didn't play, the rest of the preseason, did you guys see enough from Mason Tipton to say, yeah, man, and he got healthy toward the back of the preseason? Would you say, yeah, Mason Tipton already? Did Mason Tipton show you guys enough to say, I'm going to add him to my wide receiver room? He did for me. The guy's a natural, man. He's a natural. And if we talk about who could possibly be, because sometimes we kind of look at the team and we kind of say, okay, who's going to be the next this? Who's going to be the next that? Who's going to be the next this, that, and third? And then you look at the Saints and certain players present themselves to you and make you remember a time when they had that, like, for instance, like we had the Lance Moore, who was phenomenal for the Saints. He was the perfect system quarterback. A wide receiver for the Saints system. He was a guy that kick return he returned when you need him to do it. He had a degree of speed. I don't think Lance was super fast. I don't think he was faster than Mason Tipton. I know he was smaller than Mason. I think Lance is like 5'9", 5'10". Mason is 5'11". But if anything, present like when you talk about a great like Lance Moore, And what the Saints can have, Mason Tipton automatically presents himself. Like when I think about a guy like Marcus Colston, A.T. Perry don't pop up to, you see what I'm saying? You can look at it and say, okay, man, damn, man, Mason, Marcus Colston, man, A.T. Perry remind me a lot of Mark. No, he don't. He might be tall like Marcus Colston, but that's just about it. He don't remind me of Marcus Colston. But Mason Tipton reminds me a lot of that his game can translate into what Lance Moore brought to the Saints offense. He really could. That's what I see when I see Mason Tipton, because I scouted Mason Tipton. I know who he was. And I was telling y'all guys, I was like, man, they got a guy here from Yale. I know it's not known to be a big football school, but family got a guy here who can really play. Y'all need to watch out for him. And then boom, the Saints brought him on as a free agent, as an undrafted free agent. I was like, man, that was great move by the Saints, because Mason Tipton is a natural, man. He just needs to get healthy. All right. So yeah, this is yeah. All right. Follow says Mickey said that's what friends are for. Oh yeah, that's what friends are for. You don't have any friends, do you, big guy? Oh, you got friends. Yeah, friends. Oh yeah. But you run in a football team. You can't be giving away picks and you claim to have cap issues. How are you going to build the team? Oh, we'll do it. We'll do it the Saint way. Oh, that'll be undrafted guys. We good at getting undrafted guys, and we'll work the draft. You gonna sign anybody? Oh, I got a few guys. We're gonna be good. We'll be all right. We're gonna be all right. Q, don't worry about it. Okay, all right, Mickey. All right, Pelican notices Mickey. Yeah, he keep that thing on. That Mickey said, man. Mickey be in the window in the mirror practicing it. Mickey the kid. All right, 504 Coach says, love Cam Jordan, but that was too much money to give Cam at this point. The Saints just rewarded Cam Jordan for being, and listen, he's been falling off the cliff lately. I know last year Cam was hurt. He was frustrated to the point where Cam was like, he heard a lot of that, man. He heard a lot, because that's one thing I know about Cam Jordan, that Cam's a competitor, and when people were saying what they were saying, a lot of that, Cam heard that. But Cam ain't wore out. He ain't a wore out defensive. But like the Saints, 4 or 5 years, I can go back at least 4 to 5 years in my great Saint think tank memory, and remembering that when Sean Payton was using restrictive measures on Cam Jordan, how many reps he was getting. Y'all remember that? And Cam wasn't even hurt. But Sean Payton was using like an early form of load management against Cam Jordan. He was dialing them back, his reps, and Cam was frustrated by that. Y'all put one in the chat if y'all remember that. That's what I was saying. But Cam's not beat up. But you got to look in what capacity the Saints are using Cam today. Like Cam is not going to start unless injuries hit those guys. So Chase Young's healthy. Carl Granderson's good to go. Those are the guys. And then Cam acts as the third guy to come in there in certain packages. So you're going to get a fresh Cam Jordan. You're going to get a fresh Cam Jordan on situational passes, rushing, or when they kick them inside, you're going to get a fresh Cam Jordan. That's a big difference. But you got a fresh Cam Jordan running around there. So, like I said, and plus all of those guys. So you got a deep defensive end room where you can rotate guys to keep guys fresh. So you can control the reps of a Cam Jordan or a Chase Young so he don't get wore out. You see, you could put guys in there. And like I always talked about, pass rushing in waves and waves and waves. Dennis Allen said that this year. First time I heard him say it like that. But I was saying that the year before that, then Dennis Allen started saying, yeah, we're going to come at, we pass rushing in waves and waves. Same way I said it. Like, damn, I don't remember you ever saying that. I've been listening to all your shit. Never heard you say it like that. Yeah, but it's going to be a different usage of Cam. I think you'll get a lot out of him this time around. But yeah, but the Saints gave Cam, they rewarded Cam because Cam he's probably the most famous Saint player we have right now. Like he's the face of the Saints, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, it's not really Derek Carr. Like the team is like, it's Cam. Cam's on the team. A lot of people recognize the team like we did when Drew was on the team. Drew's the guy, but Cam's the guy. He's a vocal guy. He talks, he keeps it real. Brother Richard says, I like Tipton. I'm not a fan of our kicker situation. Indeed, bro. I get that. Yes. Hoffa says, I believe Trevor will get better. He just needs time. Plus, we need a new offensive scheme that will help Trevor Penny. Thank you, Big Bull. He says over and under 3 fights for Trevor. I would go over on that. I think he'll get into quite a few scraps. And when you see him do that, then that's going to awake the beast. That's going to unleash the beast. That'll unleash the beast when Penning is getting guys to be mad at him and pushing them and shoving them. That'll wake up that confident. That'll wake up the beast. Because that's what I was saying. You haven't been seeing that. When Trevor Penning first got down here, that's what he was doing. He was pushing people and getting into fights with people. That was a part of his mental makeup. When that disappeared, his confidence went down. You seen that all that part of his game disappear too. But when you start seeing him getting in the scrums with defensive people and all this kind of stuff going on because he mauled the guy out and pancaked him and the guy didn't like it, he get up, start pushing him, that's you're going to see. That's when it's going to wake that confidence up, because that's a big part of Trevor Penning's game. When he plays like that, that's the part, because that's that nastiness that the Saints line needs. But don't forget that. We did the Eric McCoy led offensive line of last year was too meek and timid. It was too nice. You know, you need nastiness and aggression that the young guys are bringing. The Trevor Penning, the Fuaga is bringing. You need that roughness, that toughness that they're bringing. You know, pushing them and all this type of stuff. We need that on that line, because the Saints line last year was too meek. It really was. It was too meek, man. Too meek. You need attitude to run the damn ball. Can't be out there smiling and you need attitude to run the ball. It's an attitude. It's a state of mind. You got to have the attitude to run that football. All right, what's up, Tim? Tim says, who starts, Cam or Young starts? If he's healthy, he starts. And then Cam is going to be the third guy that they rotate in there. All right, Pat says Juju is done. Okay, all right. And then OG says Juju is boo-boo. Okay, all right, damn. All right. So yes, it's one of them things where, yeah, a lot of people, there's some reports linking Juju Smith-Schuster to the Saints, man, and because he was released by the Patriots. And people say, hey, man, Juju Smith-Schuster, I don't put nothing on the Saints. I don't think Juju is going to cost a lot of money to be here. And the Saints do seem to have some issues. I mean, from the wide receiver position in terms of that, and depending on what Juju Smith-Schuster wants for money, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing what he can do, because he's a playmaker. He didn't look good in New England system. He was tearing it up for the Steelers, but once he left from over there and went to New England, it just didn't look the same. But like I said, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why it's linking them, the Saints and Juju together, man, but we'll see. All right. Hoffa says Juju hasn't been right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He didn't look right with the Steelers since he left there, because that seemed to be the kind of fit he was comfortable with. 504 Coast Cam is my top 5 favorite Saint of all time. I hope he proves me wrong. I think you'll get a good Cam Jordan this year, and as a reserve capacity with other guys there, you get a fresh Cam. That's the best we can hope for there. You know, for him to be the third guy along with these other guys, man. So we'll see, man. At first, I didn't think the Saints would pull the horn on it, but they didn't when got Chase Young and moved Cam to the third position, and he should be able to kick inside and do what he do. And you'll see Cam, man. He should be making some plays for the Saints. We can roll out our playmakers like that. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Cartel says, I still wish we had gotten T. Higgins. Oh yeah, T. Higgins is pretty damn good. All right. Lou Too Smooth says, if this O-line find a rhythm, we're going to the Super Bowl. Thank you, Lou. Yeah, this is interesting because everything hinges on the offensive line. That's why I say the sticky points that I'll be paying attention to during the game tomorrow, the preseason matchup, is, you know, whether we win or lose. Winning is good, and all this kind of stuff. But I want to see not so much the backup QB battle, because a lot of people be looking at that. I want to see the Taysom Hill, where the Saints use Taysom Hill at. Is he the fullback constantly, how they move him around? And I know they're going to try to keep it as vanilla as possible, but still watching the movements of how they use him, how often the young offensive linemen, the Saints, are going to roll out, if they can give them like a full half to be able to pick up reps. Talking about Penning and Fuaga, Lucas Patrick, those guys get full reps, like a full half or something like that. How far along is A.T. Perry coming? Is he how far, how does he look in the game? You'll see Cedric Wilson and him really kind of battling for that third spot there as well. So that's still a battle for the third spot between A.T. Perry and Cedric Wilson. The backup linebacker position for our young guys, Anthony Orji, DeMarco Jackson, and Stallbird and all those other guys. We got to pay attention to them, that backup linebacker position, see if anybody kind of breaking away. Kaliki Hudson's in that mix as well. And then, of course, watching the cornerback play. We're going to have a lot of backup cornerbacks in there because the injuries to both Lattimore and Debo. So we should see guys like Shamar Jean Charles, who's been having a pretty decent camp, Rico Payton. Those guys do their thing. And watching it, and then the kick return, the returner game, who is the returners of the Saints? Who are the returners? Who are we looking at to be these returners for the black and gold? That type of stuff. So we'll take a look at it. All right. So anyway, let me get a few more before I get on up out of here. English says we need pen and bustling holes for Elvin Kamara, Taysom. That's the way to dance. Yeah, English, I agree with you, man. He got to cut him loose. Hoffa says, who are the top teams in the NFC? Well, you look at some of the squads that they're talking about now. You got to put San Francisco up there for obvious reasons, right? San Fran's a team up there you got to look at in the NFC. Who else is there? People are not going to put Philly up there, but I think Philly's going to climb back in there. I think Philly fixed a lot of the issues that they had. And I'm expecting them to kind of climb back once again, back into relevancy. I think they're going to be difficult. I don't know about Dallas because Dallas has a lot of issues. I heard what Jerry Jones said about CeeDee Lamb. He's not having a sense of urgency to some craziness. Jerry Jones, I don't know what's wrong with Jerry Jones. He might be having what Poe Biden got, but I don't get what they got going on there. But like I said, man, there's a few teams we need to pay attention to. I don't think so much Minnesota no more. They'll be operating with young quarterback and all that. So I think they're going to kind of have a little bit of a regression. Philly, some of the standard teams, right? I don't think Washington's still trying to get back. I like Jaden Daniels there. It'll take a little time to build up. The Giants are an enigma. Who else is there to think about? I just don't know about Dallas, man. I really don't. I don't know. I'm thinking like San Francisco is probably going to be that top team. I just think Philly's going to have some issues too. They're going to be a lot better than what they were last year. I think they step it back up. Who else can it be? Green Bay is a team. Chicago, not so much. I know the hype around Green Bay. Detroit's another team we got to watch out for, even though we could have came from behind and beat Detroit. We fumbled that dumb ball and gave them a chance to score, and that killed the momentum. But Detroit's another team you obviously have to watch out for going forward. And like I said, I don't know what's going on with Seattle there. I don't know about Seattle. I don't think Seattle's going to do anything. But San Francisco, I don't know about Arizona either. I think Arizona got a little building to go. But San Fran, you got to throw San Fran, Detroit, Philly, even Green Bay. Green Bay is a team that gave Jordan love, showed him some love with a big contract. And Green Bay has been doing some stuff. And we're going to see Green Bay this year on our schedule toward the back end of it. So, yeah, I think that's 4 teams we can watch out for. And like I said, we can't afford to not overlook any team. And seriously speaking, when you look at teams that spend as much money as Atlanta did, we got to kind of pay attention to Atlanta. But we could kind of handle our business, so to speak, early on. And then we got them, I think, in week number 10. And by number 10, we could have taken care of the NFC South, and we got 1 game left at the end of the year, week 18, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. So, yeah, those are the 4 teams that I can call off top and say you might have to San Francisco, Detroit, who else said? San Fran, Detroit, Philly, Green Bay. And then, of course, I ain't putting Atlanta ahead of us, but I'm saying at the same time, I'm thinking it'll probably be it'll be us and them coming out of there. And you remember, Atlanta is not the same garbage time Atlanta team that we had, because Atlanta got a lot of Saints people. That's Terry Fontenot running it. And Terry Fontenot was born and raised down here in the black and gold building. So eventually, he took him a long time to build the team up to something. He's been at 3 years now, maybe 3 or 4 years. I won't say with Terry Fontenot. It took them a while to build them people up because they were built. They were built funny. and he had to clean it all out and pick up this, draft this, do that. And he finally got he believes a quarterback that can be competent enough in the interim to do it. So at some point, you're going to have to deal with Atlanta because of your involvement. Like, it ain't about giving them credit. That's you do. We did that. If you can't beat them, sign them. And we'll see if it works. But Fontenot's competent. He's a competent young general manager. That was supposed to be our general manager, but Atlanta was smart enough to go and get the man. You can't beat them. You can't beat the Saints. Then sign their people and then turn into the Saints. That's why I call Atlanta New Orleans East, because they got a lot of Saints brains running the team. It ain't Dimitri, whatever his face is, and Count Blancula, whose best friend is Victor off of Young and the Restless on the Titanic. So I mean, it's just one of them things, man, where the NFC is not as dominating as you would think. And then you would think, as the Saints have a similar system to the San Francisco 49ers, things are supposed to change. People struggle with that offense when it's ran correctly. You got to be a thinking defense to be able to do it. So if you're running it correctly, and I don't think I'm not going to say we don't beat the team that they're getting it from, but there's different variations of it. Look how what Coach Mike down in Miami is doing. Look how he's running that system. That's ridiculous how he running, tearing it up. So we'll see, man. But that's my perspective. Who I think. Cartel says I really think we have a shot at the Super Bowl. We have to remember the coach who held back our offense from being great is out of here. Yes, indeed. Accountability is big, bro. KD says 49ers, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Rams in that order. Okay, Black Major said, show me. Yes, and OG Jerry. Yeah. Yes. Y'all know. All right. KD also says, we're getting old when we talk about the best teams in the NFC, and the damn Lions are more of a contender than the Saints. This is true. The Lions are, they can be there for a while. And the Saints have a window. The Saints have 2 years. And the Super Bowl is really, the window is now for the Saints, to be honest with you. We've been saying that now. But they have 2 years left on their best players. And then them guys are gone. DeMario, Tyron, Cam. Those guys are gone. Your window is here. You must win. And the Super Bowl is here in the city of New Orleans this upcoming season. You got to win. So we got to win. All right. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And a lot of people, Black Major said they got to show me. So you know what we got to do. That's right. Saints got to show the Who That Nation, man. They got to show them. Oh, man. That boy hit that note. Oh, man. Yeah, that boy hit that note, man. That's what the Saints, that's how the passion we going to be talking to the Who That Nation on that, man. All right, so anyway, man, with that being said, I'm going to get out on that, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all hit the like button, man. If y'all ain't hit the like button, please feel free to chime in the poll here. We're about to end the poll. And who wins the backup QB job? So next show we're going to be asking you guys about is what you think about the backup linebacker position. We'll be asking you about that. Who wins the backup QB job? The Who Dat says, and a resounding 74% to 26% says it's Spencer Rattler, Q. The Who Dats have spoken. The Who Dats have spoken. The Who Dats have spoken as we close down the poll right there. So anyway, much love to you guys. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're listening via Twitter and any other platform. Hit the like button if you listen to, Twitter. If you listen through X, please give us a retweet. Why is it? It's called X, but it's still a retweet. That's very confusing. Can we just rebrand what they call a retweet, re-exit? Is that sounds kind of stupid? But I'm like, is if you're asking for a retweet, it's not whatever, man. Don't make no damn sense. That's why I keep screwing it up. Like, it's go on X. If you're on X, give me a re-X. What? Hit the retweet button. That's what I'm asking. Do that don't make no damn sense. They got to do that, man. They got to change it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go, brother. They not that smart. You gonna rebrand the platform another name, and then when it comes down to when you repost an item, it's called a retweet, but you don't rebrand that. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. Ramiro says, is Rattler starting? No, I don't think so, bro. The best right now we can see Rattler do is try to take a position or take the backup position. That's what I think. If he can outdo Spencer, Jake Haener, excuse me. If Spencer Rattler can outduel Jake Haener for the backup job, which the coaching staff has already says that is up for grabs. So if Spencer can outduel Jake and get that job, he's a step away from getting that opportunity to step in the limelight to get the starting role. Because if something happens to Derek Carr, Spencer Rattler's going in there. So it's just going to be interesting, man, to see how it works, man, at the same time. So yeah, Spencer Rattler's not starting, my friend, but a lot of the Who Dat Nation wants him to start. I don't know. I think even though they're not saying this, I suspect that Derek Carr will probably start one series. They did this before where they had they did this last year when they put the starting unit out there, the first series, and then they went to the backups after that. That's what I'm expecting, because Derek Carr did say in the interview when he was going through his word salad, that he said he wants to play in the preseason game. So I suspect, even though Dennis Allen hadn't said anything to this thing, I suspect that the Saints are probably going to roll out the starters for one series, and then the second stringers come in with Jake Haener leading them. And then probably in the second half, you'll see Spencer Rattler, something like that. So that's my estimation there, bro. All right, Carl, I have Spencer Rattler as the backup. Jake is very smart and would be great on the hit. All right, Hopper says, who that? Okay, there. Listen, man, I'm going to holler at y'all next one, man. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Hit the like button. I'm going to be back tomorrow, fam. Remember, 7 p.m. Central Time, we will be doing our play-by-play, calling the game. So join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Turn your television down and turn up the coma, man. We're going to be in the building tomorrow. So with that being said, I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Much love, and who that too.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shame for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network. WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.